slide tells us that the role of GenAI in environment setup is to assist the testing team by providing a few key things. First, setup documentation. Imagine you are a new tester joining a project. Setting up the test environment from scratch can be daunting. Generative AI can create detailed step-by-step instructions for configuring the testing environment. It's like having a super clear manual generated automatically guiding you through every step, making sure everyone sets up the environment in the same way, consistently. Second, checklist. When setting up a complex environment, it's easy to miss a step or forget up a complex environment. It's easy to miss a step or forget to configure something. Generative AI can generate comprehensive checklists. These checklists are like to-do lists, ensuring every crucial setup component is properly configured. Think of it as a safety net, making sure we don't miss any important configuration and reducing the chances of error in an environment setup. Third, guidelines. Every project is different, and the best way to set up a test environment might vary. Generative AI can provide best practice recommendation and guideline on setting up environment based on the specific needs of your project. It can consider factors like the type of application, the testing goals, and suggest optimal configurations. It's like getting expert advice tailored to your project, helping you set up the most effective and efficient test environment. Let's look at a concrete example of how generative AI can help with environment setup. Imagine we are still working on e-commerce website, and now we need to set up a test environment specifically for payment transaction. It's a critical area, so we need to make sure our environment is set up correctly to test payments thoroughly. On the left, you see our prompt to ChatGPT. Create a comprehensive environment setup guide that ensures secure, efficient, and user-friendly payment transaction on an e-commerce website. We are asking for a guide that covers security, efficiency, and user-friendliness specifically for payment transaction. On the right, you can see ChatGPT response. It started outlining a setup guide, breaking it down into key areas. The first areas is payment gateway integration. ChatGPT suggests we need documentation to provide detailed instructions on integrating with major payment gateways like PayPal, Stripe, and other. This is super helpful because integrating payment gateway can be complex. Having detailed documentation generated by AI can really simplify this process. It even mentions including a step for registering the e-commerce site with gateway, obtaining API keys, and setting up sandbox environment for testing. Next, it talks about security protocols. It suggests we outline the necessary security protocols for handling transactions such as HTTPS, SSL certificates, and encryption methods to protect data in transit. Security is paramount for payments. And ChatGPT is reminding us to include these crucial security measures in our environment setup guide. Finally, it mentioned test transaction and advises us to set up procedures for performing test transaction in a sandbox environment to ensure that the integration works correctly without real financial implications. Sandbox environments are essential for testing payments without actually spending real money. ChatGPT is highlighting the importance of setting this up correctly. This example shows how generative AI can provide a structured and comprehensive guide for setting up even complex test environments, like one for payment transaction. It covers key aspects like integration, security, and testing procedures, making sure we don't miss any important steps and helping us create robust and reliable testing environments. Let's look at GenAI powered test executions.
Providing test scripts and interpreting test results examples.
All right. So we have planned a test. We have set up our environment, and now it's time to run these tests and see if our software behaves as expected. Generative AI can play a couple of really cool rules here. First up, providing a script. Think about automated testing. We often write a script code to automatically run tests for us. For example, if we're testing a website, we might use tools like Selenium and write Python script to simulate user actions and verify that everything works correctly. Writing these scripts can take time and requires coding skills. But with generative AI, we can get help. GenAI can generate code snippets or even complete test script for us. Imagine you want to automate testing the login functionality of your website. You could tell a generative AI tool, hey, generate a Python script using Selenium to test the login page. Check if the login is successful with valid credential and fails with invalid credential, and boom. GenAI can generate the script for you and at least give you a great starting point. This can significantly speed up the automation process and make it easier for testers, even those who are not coding experts, to create automated tests. Secondly, interpreting test results. When we run tests, especially automated tests, we get a lot of results. Sometimes tests pass, sometimes they fail. And when they fail, we get error messages, logs, and all sort of technical details. Analyzing these results and figuring out why a test fails can be time-consuming and require expertise. Generative AI can help here too. GenAI can automate error messages and identify where test scripts fail to meet the expected behavior. Imagine you run a test and it fails, giving you a cryptic error message. You can feed that error message to GenAI tool, and it can help you understand what the error means, where the problem might be in your code or configuration, and it suggests possible fixes. It's like having an AI assistant to help you debug and understand test failure faster. Let's zoom in on the first point, generative AI providing a script. Remember how we talk about automating tests using a script? Well, here's a practical example of how generative AI can help us write these scripts. On the left, you can see our prompt. We are asking ChatGPT to develop test script for the payment page of an e-commerce web application using Selenium with Python to verify key functionalities, security measures, and usability. So we are being quite scientific. We want a script for the payment page using Selenium and Python, and we want to test functionality, security, and usability. Now, look at ChatGPT respond on the right. Start by saying to develop test script for the payment page of an e-commerce web application using Selenium with Python. We need to cover several crucial aspects. Verify functionality, ensuring security measures, and assessing usability. It's basically acknowledging our request and confirming it, understand what we want to achieve. This is really helpful. Start with prerequisites. It says before writing a script, make sure you have the following: a list Python installed, Selenium WebDriver installed, an appropriate WebDriver for a browser you are testing. This is fantastic. ChatGPT is not jumping into writing code. It's first reminding us of the setup we need to have in place before we can run Selenium scripts. It even gives us the command pip install Selenium to install Selenium WebDriver. Okay, this is a great example of how generative AI can be more than just a code generator. Let's now look at how generative AI can assist us with interpreting test results. The slide is titled Interpreting Test Result Example. So we have run our automated tests, and unfortunately some of them have failed. We're now faced with error messages. Error messages can sometimes be cryptic and difficult to understand, specifically if you are new to testing and dealing with a complex system. Debugging and figuring out the root cause of these errors can be time-consuming part of testing. Here is where generative AI can be really helpful. In this example, our prompt is address and resolve the error messages identified on the payment page of the e-commerce web application by employing Selenium in Python, ensuring robust functionality and enhancing user experience. We are basically asking ChatGPT to help us understand and fix error messages we encounter while testing the payment page. And on the right, you see the ChatGPT response focusing on a specific error. No such element exception. This is a common error in Selenium testing. ChatGPT explains occurs when an element could not be found. And then it clarifies often this indicates that the element is not present on the page at the time Selenium is trying to interact with. Think about it. In web testing, Selenium interacts with elements on a web page, buttons, text fields, links, etc. And no such element exception means Selenium couldn't find an element it was looking for. This could be because the element is actually missing from the page, or maybe it's loading slowly, or maybe your script is looking for it in the wrong place. Or explaining this error message in plain language, generative AI is helping us understand the problem much faster. Instead of spending hours digging through logs and code, we can get a quick explanation of what error means and what might be causing it. This allows us to focus our debugging effort more effectively. We can then investigate why the element is not being found. Is there a bug in the application? Is our test script incorrect? Is there a timing issue? Generative AI in this case acts like a knowledgeable assistant, helping us decipher technical error messages and pointing us in the right direction to resolve test failures more quickly and efficiently. It's a huge time saver and makes the process of analyzing test results much less daunting.
Optimizing test execution using GenAI. The objective of the exercise is to optimize the test execution by automating the generation and interpretation of test scripts for improving the functionality and user experience of online search features. So the tool that we are going to use here is ChatGPT. So the prerequisites are none. So this is what we have in UI. Here we can enter the text, and the prompt for this particular exercise that we are going to use to develop the test scripts using Selenium with Python for basic search functionality on an online library website, focusing on input accuracy, retrieval of results, and basic error handling. So this is our prompt that we have developed test scripts using Selenium with Python for basic search functionality, and we will send it to ChatGPT. So it is giving us the steps. So pip install Selenium. This is the library that we need to install to run this exercise. To run this code, Python code, and this is how you can use it in Python. This is the code for search functionality that we can use Selenium to run the website. Search or click, everything can be controlled. So Selenium is the tool that can automate your tasks by testing the websites. So this is the text that we have got, or the code it has generated. We can use this code to use the Selenium capabilities. Now, to interpret the test results using the ChatGPT, we have some mock test messages. We will upload that document and we will give the prompt to the ChatGPT, and based on that, ChatGPT will try to address these test results and give us some solutions. So first I will upload some dummy data or dummy text to it, and then this is my prompt to identify the error messages. So resolution error occurs when Selenium tries to locate on HTML page tag or something that renders on the screen. It is trying to find that, but it is not there. So this kind of error we can get while running the Selenium. So it is giving us the resolutions as well. So updated scripts like this, we can run search box and timeout exceptions, element not interactable exception. So these kind of resolutions can run your Selenium. It can get into these kind of exceptions or errors. So it is also giving us the resolutions that how we can resolve all these errors. So now we have successfully optimized the test execution using ChatGPT to automate the generation and interpretation of text scripts to enhance both functionality and user experience for the online library search feature. So thank you for watching the video. See you in the next one.